She is the moment. Okay. My knees ain't. What's happening? Hold on, let me make sure this. I think we're good. Yeah. Hey y'all, what's up? It's Millie here, and you are tuned into Millie Talks Truth TV. And today I am coming at y'all with, I don't even know what this is gonna be called. I guess it could be a mukbang. Life updates. Cause your girl ain't posted since a long time. Let me take a sip. Okay. This is I got a pomegranate smoothie from Tropical Smoothie. It's one of my favorite places to go. Dang, I'm gonna get lipstick on this. I didn't even think about that. That's neither here nor there. Y'all, how are y'all doing? Okay, I'm sorry if I'm like squinting because my eyes, the sun's low-key in my eyes, but it feels good out here. You know, we near the lake. If you want to call this a lake, I don't know what you would call it, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. I hope y'all can hear me because it's a lot of like cars on the road, so hopefully y'all can hear me because I'm gonna be extremely upset if I you know, record all of this and then y'all can't hear me. But so, you know, it's been a while. Okay, it's been a while. Your girl has been a lot of emotions. I don't even know where to, y'all, I really don't even know where to start because like it's been a lot going on, but it's been a lot of good things, but it's also, like I said, I've just been having a lot of emotions. I literally, it's been, I can't, last November, it's literally been like about a year since I posted, which, you know, there's no excuse for that. Even though I do feel like partly I have been in this season of where I've been in a preparation season, let me say that, right? And it's been a lot of things that have unfolded that again have been for my good, but then it's also been things that, you know, just challenges. That's the word I want to use. It's been challenges, but hey, that's part of life, right? We all deal with things, we all go through different situations, so I'm learning to embrace those things versus like letting it, you know, break me down to the point of where I just be drained, you know. But I'm not gonna lie, the panoramic Panini, we not in it anymore, but it still feels like we low-key are. So, you know, I don't know. But what I wanted to talk about today basically was just I wanted to talk about, so the title of this is gonna be The Cost of Transparency and Vulnerability, because I've been realizing that the more that I have had to take a step back and look at myself in certain ways, that process of healing and that process of like learning who I really am, it's been a very interesting one, I'll say that, right? Again, it's been good, but it's also been, it's just a lot of truths that I've been learning about myself and things that I've had to correct, things that I have had to grow in, areas I've had to grow in, right? And so, yeah, like I'm in a good space. Again, I have been emotional, and I'm gonna be honest, y'all, if it wasn't for, see, okay, let me hold on, because look, I wrote down some notes. I actually kind of just did some like, it's kind of low-key word vomit that I just wrote up down a bunch of words about things I wanted to talk about to make sure that I don't forget anything. But whew, child, chill. Hold on, let me take another sip of my pomegranate. Side note, Tropical Smoothie, I be trying to make my smoothies nowadays, but every now and then, you know, your girl gotta go get one from somewhere. And I got this one from the Tropical Smoothie, like I think I told y'all. I can't remember if I said that at the beginning. They have the best smoothies, y'all. I just love them. But anyways, okay, so this is okay, y'all have, let me just say this, please bear with me, because trying to articulate like a year's worth of lessons or things that I have been, you know, evaluating, I guess you could say, I might be a little bit all over the place, but it's gonna come back, okay? It's gonna come full circle. And that's another thing I've been realizing, is I have been having a lot of full circle moments, and it's really been beautiful to see. But again, it's also what am I trying to say, like, just learning different lessons. It's been again a little cray cray, but yeah. So where do I start? Okay, so the last video I posted, I basically was talking about just like the pandemic and just how my emotions had been during that time, and just how I basically been dealing with that, right? So, you know, that was in November at some point of last year. Y'all, I don't know if it's just me, but I have no sense of time sometimes. Like, I can't believe that I never would have thought that we would see a time where we would be walking around with masks, one, all the time, and then two, you know, now that it's quote unquote over, even though it's not, I feel like I've just been trying to navigate through this new normal, basically, and understanding that it's never gonna be normal. I'm not normal considering what people say is normal. So, and I'm okay with that, you know? But honestly, y'all, like, whew, I feel like I had to take some time away to get in a place of where I could really, and let me start this off also by saying, like, I feel like I had to take some time to get in a place of where I could really understand my purpose more, because I thought that I did. I thought that I like really knew myself in certain aspects, but like I'm continuing, because it's still a journey, right? I'm continuing to learn things about myself that I thought that I knew, you know? And so this new version of me has been great to me, but at the same time, like, there's a certain level of grieving that happens when you are basically like dealing with getting away from who you used to be and stepping into this new version of yourself, right? And so that in itself has been difficult, because I realized there's a lot of things from my past, a lot of childhood trauma, like just healing like my inner child, that I have had to face. And I feel like before the pandemic, it was really, really easy to mask those things, you know? And honestly, I know, and I'm not gonna discount just the impact that the pandemic has had on people, because there's been a lot of losses, there's been a lot of just you know, just a lot of stuff happening to people, to where, you know, it's just like, I feel like a lot of people have been in this space of where, what am I trying to say? Hold on. Like, I don't want to discount just the impact that the pandemic has had on people, and I feel like it's been a lot of, you know, difficult moments, for sure. And And I feel like for a long time it really was getting to me, because it was just a lot that was happening at the same time, and certain things like within myself that I had to deal with, but also in seeing people that I love go through certain things. Like, I didn't know how to process those things or how to like deal with said things, right? And so, you know, during this time, it's really been a place of where I've had to kind of, you know, take a step back and learn how to rest, in a sense of like not resting just physically, but resting in, and let me say this because I want to make this clear too, like, I'll be honest, my relationship with the Lord has grown tremendously during this time. And so one thing I'll never do though is come on here and force my religion on anybody or act like you have to believe what I believe, because no. But I will talk about it, because it's one of those things that, like, if it wasn't for him, I don't know if I would have made it through this pandemic. Like, I'm dead serious, because it's like, and I'm like, and that's another thing I realized in part of, you know, I have a coping mechanism of like making humor out of everything, and that's not good. I feel like a lot of black people do that, but that's a conversation for another day that I do want to talk about at some point. We're not going to talk about right now. Okay, anyway, you know, that was a side note. But like, there's a lot of things that the pandemic brought to light for me, and like, it was a blessing in a sense, because if I had been keeping speed with, you know, how I had been going before the pandemic, I probably would have been in somebody's hospital. Like, I'm not even about to play with y'all and joke with y'all, like, for real, because at the time, just my job, like, it was starting to affect me, because one, okay, so let me say this. So I ended up getting fired from a job that I was working in the nonprofit field, and honestly, that was a blessing. So, you know, that was a blessing. But because I feel like one thing that I'm realizing is the time and seasons, and at the end of the day, I feel like God will assign you to a certain crowd, or, you know, a certain, just, God will assign you to a certain place or environment or people for a certain season, right? But that doesn't always mean that it's gonna be long term. Maybe it's something that you're supposed to learn in that space. And so I have no ill feelings towards my old job or anything like that. But I will say that I feel like at the time, you know, I was literally like, I was seeing like 80 something kids, right? And this was a part-time job, because I had another job that was part-time, and, you know, I work full-time for them now. But we're talking about, you know, during that time, like, I had 80 kids that I was seeing. And, you know, no offense to, again, my old job, but like, that's a conversation for another day, because just the politics and the system and the things that go into just being in this field, like, I feel like a lot of times people don't see the behind the scenes, and there's already a connotation that like social workers are just, you know, they just want to go take people's kids and just, you know, not really help. But for me, like, I got in social work because I genuinely wanted to help people. Like, I never really knew what I wanted to do, in a sense. Like, I knew that because I saw some of the things that my family dealt with, like, I wanted to basically help people that have been in similar situations as me, or just people in general that are dealing with tough times, right? And there's a level of when helping can turn into, what am I trying to say? Helping can sometimes, if you're not helping yourself and you're not pouring into yourself, it can turn into more harm for yourself and others, because you're not able to fully show up for them because you are not, you're trying to basically do too much. You know, you're basically trying to be, it's a control thing when it's really said and done. And that's something I realized during the pandemic. Like, I had a couple of toxic traits of control. You know, the Lord like really was humbling me, like seriously, in a lot of ways. Pride, you know, all of that stuff that I had to really sit with myself with, right? And the pandemic forced me to do that. But going back to what I was saying about just like my capacity, it's like, you know, I was basically seeing all these kids, and you know, my job would always say stuff like, well, I don't expect you to, you know, care after 80 kids. But my thing was, if we don't have any resources in place to be there for these kids, to mentor them in the way that they need to be mentored, then I feel a level of responsibility to be there, right? And while I tried, like, I'm gonna be honest, you know, the math wasn't mathing, okay? Because at the time, you know, I literally was trying to, you know, be a mentor, trying to also facilitate and go to schools, trying to basically, you know, they wanted me to do help with their social media pages, and so I'm putting out videos, you know, all of that stuff. Let's say I spent 30 minutes with each child, having 80 something kids, so that's 40 hours just mentoring, right? The math ain't mathing, okay? The math ain't mathing. So, you know, I mean, and again, this is nothing against them. It's just, I had to set some really strong boundaries, because it's like, you know, I have to take care of myself too. And sometimes it was really doing more damage when it's said and done, because some of these kids would feel like, well, you know, like, I can't really give to them what I need to. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I feel like God allowed me to cross their paths for a reason, even if it's just for them to, you know, follow me, to see, you know, a video like this to help encourage them, even if I can't, you know, physically be there all the time. Like, and at the end of the day, you know, it's not about me being seen. Like, I never even really saw myself making videos, if I'm honest. That's a conversation for another day too. But you know, it's one of those things. It's like, now I'm realizing I have to take care of myself, like, and I kind of have been having to like do damage control when it's really said and done, because of others not planning properly, right? And you know, it's one of those things that's like, I don't feel like there was any ill intentions in regards to like they were doing any of this stuff on purpose. I think it was really from a good heart of saying like, okay, I want to help all these kids, I want to do this, I want to do this. All of that's great, but at the same time, like, helping can turn into harming if we're not careful. So I think that's why we just really have to be intentional about praying about like, okay, you know, where does God want me in this season, so that I can make sure that I am fulfilling my assignment in the proper way, so that I don't harm people in the process of it. Because if I can't 100% give my all to something, then it's kind of like, you know, what is your why behind doing it, you know? And I don't want to go too deep into that, because it's kind of a sensitive topic, you know, and I don't want it to seem like, again, I'm trying to like throw anybody under the bus, because it's definitely not that. But, you know, I think these are conversations that we need to talk about, because I think sometimes we can get caught up in trying to do everything and be everything. And, you know, I've had to bow out in certain aspects because I can't, you know. And again, like I was talking about, like with doing damage control, it's like I've still been, in a sense, trying to do damage control, because, you know, these are kids' lives. Like, I don't want them to like resent me because I wasn't able to be there fully, right? Oh Lord, it's like every time I be trying to record, these people over here is playing hockey, so I hope y'all can't hear that in the background. Y'all probably can. I might have to move. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Okay, so I said all that. Let me go back and look at this. So yeah, so along with that, and along with like seeing, oh, that's a burger. Okay.